Jibbers, I've got 9 people in already. If you bear with me, I'm just putting a few links up onto Facebook and Instagram stuff here before I get started. I'm still trying to work this whole thing out, people, to try and work out how to flip to see the chat or whatever. But bear with me. Right, I think that's me. I think that's me anyway. I'm going to put a wee message up in the chat here just to see if anybody can actually see it. If anybody can, write a wee reply for just to see if I'm doing this whole thing right. Happy days. Hello, Lee. Good to see you in. Well, all right. First time for everything. Tonight is just sort of a bit of a tester to see how this thing really goes. I'll take you off the stand for a minute, take you a walk around. This is the power plant that I've been working on for the last couple of videos. I'm nearly at the stage for finishing the loom. I have a few wires to finish at the front here. I've another video ready to go live. The throttle position sensor, I think I mentioned in the last video, it didn't fit. Well, it now does. Conveniently, I've forgotten to bring it with me tonight, right enough. Well, Andrew, good to see you in. So I managed to 3D print a wee adapter for it. The idle air control valve, I'll actually fit it now so that I can get the position. If I can find it. Yeah, I'm going to set you on the tripod. That's the old one. I tried to do this whole thing on the GoPro earlier, but it was a wee bit sort of sketchy. Well organized. Oh, found it. You can see the difference here between the two of these. This is the standard Ford one, which you can't get this stupid plug for. So this is a Vauxhall item. It's a, I don't even remember what it's off, to be fair. A friend of mine sent it to me. Peter Gladstone sent it over to me. So I'm going to try and get this fitted onto the engine. In theory, it should just be a whole lot handier because I already have the 2-pin connectors for these. So that'll be the next wee stage here. Whenever I'm fitting this up finally, I'll make a wee gasket for this. But for now, it's only just to get a position really of the wiring. Right, so idle air control valve wiring, these two orangey ones, orange and blue, orange and green. So they'll be coming fed up as they be pushed back up in a slight bit. This will be fed up here and onto the plug nicely there. So I'll grab a plug here. These things come with boots on them. So it's just needed to see now how far up really I need to cut the wire. That's coming right down in. I think I'm fine. I'll just snip off that to make them both the same length and then fire connector on. Well, attempt the fire connector on. Too much technology going on here. I can watch myself, watching myself. But anyway, so snipping these off equal. Just putting this wee bit of tape on to attempt to keep the braid from spreading out whenever I put the boot on over the whole show. Next stage is going to be these wee rubber boils. Just to show you how simple it really is. I was sort of daunted by the task of putting this all together at the start, I'm not going to lie, but once you actually get stuck in, it's not horrendous. Just like that, one pin done. And one thing I need to check before I actually terminate this into the plug is which one goes where. And which one of these is pin 1, which one's 2. Oh, it's written on it. Don't know if you can see it or not. It's written on it 1 and 2. So, need to work out now which one of these is going where. That one. Files. This is the inlet air. Pin 1 is 16. No, it's not. IACB1 is orange green, so that goes to pin 1, I believe. Pin 3. Pin 1. So the orange and green goes to pin 1. Sorry, I'm taking so long to work this out. I can't be bothered putting it in wrong, only to have to de-pin it again. It's been there too many times recently. Click. This isn't ideal. Somehow it's managed to get wedged in there whenever it's not even anywhere near where it needs to click home. There it is. Where are you all from anyway? Apologies, I'm not very good at this. Whereabouts are you all from in the world? I'm from Northern Ireland, in case you hadn't already guessed. Berkshire, whereabouts is that? North, south, east, west? I have no idea. Click. So finally, that's at home. I think this wee thing here goes over and clicks in as like a guide, which it does, and then the boot goes over. So, idle air control valve, in theory, done. And on. Be able to tidy that up whenever I actually get this heat shrink and stuff pulled back over this to make it all tidy. Next up is going to be this not air temperature, sorry, coolant temperature sensor. So same applies, I've already cut them off the same length. Ever heard of Reading? Yes, I have. That's down below London, isn't it? Near Southampton direction. My friend from there, actually. In fact, I think I've actually been there. Come to think of it. So on this one, I've already got the tape. Just trying to see what you can actually see here. This one, I've already got the tape on to hold the heat shrink or the braiding stuff. So need to get another connector. Another rubber boot. 15 minutes, that's him. Oh, hello Stephen. Good to see you in. You're from Aberdeenshire. How far away is that from you, Ali? Miles. That's just nothing. Hopefully won't need these again. Have the rest of you all got projects going yourselves, or what brings you here? Oh, well, I know you run your own channel. Okay, so another one done. Now I need to work out which pin goes where again. Hello Glenn, good to see you in. So, coolant temperature now. In case you haven't seen, I have it on the iPad here, the wiring diagram, and then I can skip between the two and go into the spreadsheet, which is quite handy because I know, like for instance, ECU coolant temperature, which is here. I know that pin 33 is blue and it's pin 1. So, ECU pins. Coolant temperature sensor pin 1 goes to 33. If I go back into this again then, pin 33 is the temperature input and it is blue. So pin 1 is blue. Click. Click. There we go, both home. The wee spreader plate thing in. And done. Okay, another one done. Get back into the chat here somehow, whoever I manage that. Wished. Jordan, I have the option here to show or hide your comment. Would you rather I hit it? There we go. For some reason, it gave me a reason to hide that, even though you did censor it. I'll try not to. I've done so many times in the past. You're saying there, Lee, you have a Z-Tech. Great timing. You're saying you have a Z-Tech. Over here, I have the ST170 setup for the Escort. So I'll wheel it out here. The light. In case you haven't seen around it, there is a video channel, or not a video channel, a playlist going. One of my other playlists, Project Escort. It's on there, everything. To do with what I've done so far, basically. I'm running a Zoo-Speed coil and plug kit, which is using Yaris coils, I believe. The Harris Performance manifold and Retroford water rail, Neil Dunn sump, DA Performance front pulley kit and belt and stuff. So I'm getting there. I'm running it on throttle bodies. Don't have them here, unfortunately. They're sitting wrapped up well in the warm at home with the ECU and stuff. So I'm running the Link Monsoon ECU, so it'll hopefully control the VVT and stuff well for me. Glenn, you have a Ford P100 pickup and your dad has a Mark II 3-litre S. That's a rare one. The P100, a friend of mine there was saying the other night he has the offer of one with a Cosy in it, a YB, so could be interesting to be involved in that one. I've watched he's running blacktop. Let me see. There we go. I've worked this out now, how to get the comments on the screen. This wee car here in the background is my brother-in-law's. I was for putting bike carbs and a manual gearbox and stuff into it. The timing was impeccable of my back to give up. I was meant to have this done by now, but I was out of the workshop for a couple of weeks there, lying up at home feeling sorry for myself, so this was sort of put on hold for a bit. I had started it, but it's now sort of back standard again. It's a very clean wee motor, I have to say. Very clean. It's a factory order auto, so it came from the gear bar from the factory. They converted it to an automatic for the first customer. I have all the manual bits and pieces lying somewhere over here. It's great having tidied up and know where everything is now. This is the Type 9 corner. Well, one of the Type 9s. So there's all the stuff to convert it over to manual. I have a pedal box that is coming out of my own, well, I was going to say red car, but it's not red, it's blue. So once that comes out, I'll throw it into this. And I have a bias box going into Project X-Pack now. So that should hopefully free up a wee bit of room in the engine bay, which means I can get rid of this monstrosity here. Hopefully it'll just be a simple one like that, come down right now. Means I have a lot less welting to do as well, so always a bonus. Might as well plug this coil back in while I see it. Jordan, you know a good bit about coil unplug, don't you? How's yours going? Jordan had the unfortunate mishap of not understanding that the that it doesn't fit under the standard plenum, unfortunately. So if anybody's watching this with a 24 valve, just unless you have an aftermarket plenum. To be fair, he did get very creative and I did get it to work in the end, but it's not as simple as just bolting it on, unfortunately. Like these, literally, the right pull to pull them up out, but you don't need a bracket around to hold them in. They just click down on, stay home. So I'm very happy with that. Wiring wise, all that's really left at the front here is I've one more of them connectors to do. The air inlet, which sits just up in there somewhere. I have crank position sensor to do. Jordan, you might be fit to help me. Crank position sensor, the screen doesn't actually connect to anything, does it? It just, you put the red and the black on to pin 1 and 2, and the screen is connected back into an earth pin on the ECU, if I'm correct. ECU ground. Aye, so the one end of it goes to the ECU ground, the other one just stays, it doesn't do anything, it's just at the end of the cable where the connector is, correct? Aye, don't connect any other ground, perfect. Oh, hello Stu, how are you? You're not out in the garage welding? See you later, John. By the way, I've just noticed you're heading off, and I'm just trying to catch up with this here, all the chat. You can see my agricultural method, my stand sitting on top of the engine, and I ended up crying because the things fell onto the floor probably, but anyway. I think I might do this crank position sensor then, while I have an expert sitting watching me, Jordan. Put these back into this for a minute. Now then. No pressure. Now then, bit of tape again, wherever I've put it. Work out the length that I need of this first of all. That's there somewhere. Screen's always left floating at the device end. Good lad. Thanks, Stephen. I'm going to switch devices, no bother. Bit of tape, which I started off doing actually. I was saying earlier on there, I have a bit of a 3D printed how I did it episode coming up in the next day or two. The throttle position sensor that I bought didn't agree with the spindle on the throttle body, so I improvised, adapted and overcame, I have now got a throttle position sensor with a 3D printed adapter that now works, so very happy with that. So there we go, pull the boot down for a minute. Road. Now probably the right time to tell you that Jordan is an electrician, so he's probably cringing at everything I'm doing here, but still. Automatic strippers are a bit handier, Jordan, this way. I'm very capable to do them with normal snips, but if I have them here, I might as well use them. I hate these crimpers with a passion. Okay, seems to be decent enough. We crimp on that. You work out now which one goes where. Crankshaft, position sensor, input, red 31. Thirty-one is pin 1. Which is red, so pin 1 is this one. Just strip this back a wee bit. I'm not gonna lie, it's fighting me. Seems to be jammed, although it does look like it's in right, but it's just not coming out or going in. Try that the other way. Hoping to get it on. Good job. Stu, if anybody doesn't know, has a Rover V8 with a supercharger on it. And he's running Holly EFI and stuff on it as well. So it's an interesting build. Not gonna lie, this is annoying the life out of me. It's always when you're live, something doesn't work. It's arguably one of the more important sensors also, crank sensor. Yeah, this is a dead end, I think. I think I've over crimped the insulation bit on the terminal and therefore it's jamming inside. Might be a cut off and start again sort of a job. Yes, Sandra, I got that. Only got it this morning. I haven't had a chance to reply yet, so I'll send it on. If anybody else wants a wee keyring or bottle opener, absolutely send me an email. The link is in the description of most of my other videos. The bottle opener is functional, believe it or not. It does work, which is surprising for something that I made. But Jordan. Jordan, of course, is making reference to the fact that I welded up a few holes on the X-Pack that should have stayed. Mainly being the headlight retaining clip hole. So then I have to start going back over the whole thing again and drilling them out again. Right, got that back out. That's a cut off. And, well, maybe not. Maybe it's just... Right, try again. Much easier that time. Okay, so both pins are in. Yes. Oh, I'm done. Crankshaft sensor. These will all be routed down nicely, of course, whenever the final bit's done, but for now. There we go. We're on. Throttle position sensor, forgot to bring with me again tonight, so don't want to cut that off now, leave it too long. Oil temperature sensor, not entirely sure. I'm going to grab it here. I'm wearing a wee VDO oil pressure sensor, sorry. And it's the usual 8th MPT thread. I just don't know whether or not to mount it on the end. Hang on, I grab this again. Mount it on this monstrosity down here. This here is only set in, so in theory that would go there. In fact, I might try that now and see what it looks like. Nope, wrong thread. What's that? What is that thread? Anyway, need to get an adapter. I wasn't sure whether to put it on there or whether or not to mount it on the inner wing somewhere over here and run the wires. This is an 8th sensor. Jordan, that's what I bought. I thought that was 8th, but obviously I've bought the wrong step down, or else I don't know what I've done, to be truthful. But anyway, I'll sort it out. Always do. That's a 1/4 in the block from memory. Right, okay, get you now. So I need to get myself a 1/4 to 8th step up, or step down, whichever. I'll screw that back in for now so don't get lost. Might do me on the wire in the night. Any other questions you have about the build in general? Just not even about the wiring, just about anything about it. Be interested to see. When's it going to be done? The golden question. Unsure, really, to be truthful. All depends on when I get this thing back from paint, really, the X-Pack. But then again, I have a child due within the next week and a bit, so who knows if I get it back. It's doubtful it's coming back in the next week and a bit, like, so by the time I get off paternity leave or whatever, I might not be starting back into the car for another month or so. I would like to see it all built up with glass in it and engine and stuff set in, box, get the mechanicals in for Christmas. And I would love to see it on the road for next year at some stage. I've been without a Duprey now for too long, basically. It's been brutal. Although, can't complain really with the year that it's been with the whole virus and all that. There's been no shows to go to, so I haven't missed it just as much. And I've been able to start this, I suppose, which I'm quite enjoying, so that's another thing. The stew ball, would it be okay screwed into block, but remote mount with pipe would save the sensor from any engine vibration? Yes, it would. That's why I was considering that. I might get myself a wee mount for it, or 3D printer mount for it, for the inner wing. And as you say, remote mounted away out of the road somewhere. It would mean that the wires would be shorter as well for it if they're up closer to the bulkhead. Because ideally I don't want it sitting right beside the manifold or the downpipe coming out. I have an oil temperature sensor as well coming for the dash, so I should be fit to monitor that. And I'm getting more tempted by the day to buy a few more sensors for it for the dash, for fuel pressure and stuff like that, just so that I can keep an eye on it on the digital screen in front of me. Boys and their toys. Lee, what do I do as a day job? I fix computers and CCTV cameras. Used to be a mechanic many years ago at heavy plant and tractors and all that carry on. Served my time as I think it was land-based agricultural service engineer, unsure, many years ago now. So that was fun. I went back to tech in the evenings and studied to do computers and all that carry on. And it means now that I actually come home in the evenings and enjoy working on my own stuff. Whereas before it was you're working at it all day, you just can't be bothered really. Any other questions? Jordan, I'll find it. Oh, aye, that's you. Bit of a difference. I work for Ford, so I know what you mean. What sort of power figure am I aiming at? Unsure. I've seen twin turbo with the same spec as mine, albeit slightly different compression. Mine was initially built for supercharging, So it has a compression ratio of 891, I think it is. So it can't push it just as hard as some of the other engines out there with the same spec on it. I'm going to guess 350 to be safe. I know it's capable for a lot more. I know it's capable for up around the 500 mark, probably with the turbos and stuff on it, but it gets costly. You start breaking other stuff. It's a costly engine to work on. If it goes bang, the back axle and stuff wouldn't stick it, I would say. I do have, wherever it's at, up here somewhere, I think. Yes. Here's my gearbox. It's a hybrid MT75 with a loose cradle at the minute. Need to tighten that up. So that's hopefully capable for anything I can throw at it. It was all rebuilt with new synchros and everything in it. So that's that. Or what was that other question there? I've lost that, wherever it's gone. It's just Jordan being a wee prick. What's the estimated time she'll run before your first mechanical issue? I'm going to guess there'll be many mechanical issues before it even starts to run, Jordan. So, mainly worried about the wiring. As much as I've been very prepared and tried my best to do everything right, I spent many evenings sitting at home trying to work it all out, put it into spreadsheets and stuff. It's hard to know if I've got every wire right. So there'll be a lot of testing and just trying to interrogate the ECU to see if everything's working before I try and start it. Oil leaks and stuff are a big thing in these as well, as you know, Jordan, as well. The cam covers are an absolute pain in the rear end to seal. They have a, I'm not going to get this off. Nah, I'll leave it. They have seals around the spark plug on the inside. So there's 3 seals, and then there's a rubber gasket goes around there. It's these stupid things in the front. Why ever they left these, I don't know. They're like rubber half moon shaped bits on the gasket. So they're a pain in the rear end to get sealed. Yes, Stu, definitely go for fuel pressure sensor. Good early warning for potential fuel pump system problems. Yes, that's why I want it. Just to see what the crack is at the side of the road. If I know it's just not starting or whatever, I can see if it's actually getting fuel pressure or not. Lee, am I running knock sensors? Lee, I would love to run knock sensors, or a knock sensor, whichever. I'm just struggling at the minute to know which one to go for. I know the likes of Jordan there has an old Link knock block or something. It's an old system, but it's a good reliable system, but they don't come up for sale very often. I've seen in an email there I sent Emerald, the ones who've made my ECU, asked them for advice on it, and they sent me through a link to something. I can't honestly remember the name of it now. But whenever I go to buy that, I probably should be now to be fair, but it's expensive, so you know how it is. I think it was about 300 or 400 quid for a system. So yeah, I need to just look into that a bit more. I do want to run it, but at the minute I haven't got any plans. Right, let me see, a few more coming in here. As you see in my next video, slight oil leak issues. Yes, Jordan, I've seen that already. The preview, it's not great. Hello there, Bully 1908 and Kaj, is she painted? Tricky question. The engine bay is still, obviously it's painted. I believe the painter between yesterday and today is inside the car, doing the floor and the roll cage and stuff. So I know there's a lot of masking up and taping off around whenever you're doing a roll cage inside a car. It's not a job I exactly wanted to do myself. So I know he's at that. So once he gets that done, the outside of her is ready for paint, basically. He has all the repairs done on the outside, and she's patch primed, I believe, as well. So once he gets the inside done over the next couple of days, it should be on the home straight. It should be ready to fire into paint, hopefully. So I'm excited. I would say that I'm as excited to get that into paint as I am with the child coming, but the wife will probably slap me when I get home. Yeah, hopefully soon. I know I've been saying that for a while, but hopefully soon. On another side note, I'm unsure how I've managed to stay talking for 52 minutes, but apologies if you're bored. I might start wrapping up soon. It's 8 o'clock. I live an hour away from the workshop, roughly. So the drive home at night is always a bit of a long one. On the other hand, it does motivate me whenever I'm here to actually do a bit, because otherwise it's 2 hours driving wasted. You can see around the back here, this is for the map sensor. Again, it's going to be mounted on the bulkhead somewhere. I don't want it mounted on the engine where I had it. I think I had it cable tied on here the last time, crudely just slung on. Jordan, yourself, I think, that said it was quarter BSP, wasn't it, for these airline fittings? We need to get a 90-degree couple of those on a bung ordered up, then run it around the back, or else, yeah, good lad, Jordan, thank you. I might try and get a 90-degree on, route it down in, route the pipe out the back here somewhere, and mount it on the bulkhead of the car. PCV system's another thing I have to work out yet. Here we go. I have this nice Moco bottle to go on. It is clean, it's just dusty. Or it isn't scored, sorry, it's just dusty. This has to go on somewhere in the car as well. Ideally, I'd like to run it with AN fittings, but everything that comes off the car is on push-on Jubilee clip fittings. So I'm presuming the likes of Jordan and Stu here, who run V engines, I'm going to need, there's a one-way PCV valve thing that normally pushes into here. I'm presuming it needs fed into the PCV. This does, and then one from the sump as well, or back into the sump, whichever. If you can keep me writing that either now or by message, it'd be great. Yes, no sump. So just the 2 rocker covers then, Jordan? Yeah, happy days. How did you run yours into this stupid thing here? This rubber sealy thing. Jordan's channel sounds interesting. I'll look him up. Jordan's an interesting character. If you click on his name there, you should be fit to find it. Or Jordan, if you... What's your channel called? Just Jordan Jemison, I take it? Get some fittings tagged on, and then you can run a fitting. Yeah, that's another option. I have the TIG welder there. I have a spare set of rocker covers at home as well. So if I muck this set up, I have another set. I might do that. I might put a 90 on there and point it in this road so the bottle's down there somewhere. Because I'm running no servo now, I might be able to run the bottle where the servo sat there on the bulkhead. If I can get these both teed into it. I have 2 fittings into it, so yeah. I don't think there's anything else. Oh yeah, something Jordan's already done. We come up with the idea sort of at the same time, but Jordan, as usual, beat me to it. Hang on. There's a cup of tea, which I made about an hour ago. Forgot about, RIP. I have a video fuel level sensor, fuel sender, basically, to replace the old Ford setup, which, in my opinion, has never been reliable. It never works whenever you need it. Jordan's had a bit of an issue, I think, with his on leaking. The seal sort of disintegrated in his. Any word back from them? I know you'd emailed them to see eventually after you worked out how to use emails. Not yet. Still nothing back. That's shocking. I think it was off Demon Tweaks. I run both my rocker covers into a single baffled catch cam with filter to atmosphere. Yeah. This one here, is this a lid or what's on this? Yeah, there's just a lid on this. So I might be able to, there's a baffled in that of sorts. Or is that like a vent? Might be like a venti lid thing, unsure. I need to look up the specs of it and see. But I run the Pinto and stuff I had with vented to atmosphere, and it was grand, so I'm not too worried about that. I'll sort out somehow how to do that. Anything else here that I needed to go discuss before I go? I'm looking around. Oh, aye, clutch. That'd be an interesting one. It's quite hard doing this all one-handed, you know, and the clutch is quite heavy. Oh. So this is the CG Motorsports. Hang on, I'm fed up this. More like it. This is the CG Motorsports 385 Supersport kit. Hopefully should be man enough for the job. It's almost a shame to put it inside an engine instead of bell housing, or to hide it. I'd rather it on show. But yeah, overall, wasn't that expensive. Just looking at the docket here, which is the dangerous thing. If the wife's looking, £50. For anybody else, it was 331 quid for the full kit. So it's not horrendous stuff. And then the clutch plate. So any standard clutch plate really looks the same. It says LUK on it, so it's good enough for me. What have we got? Same as Stu, but no catch can yet. So you just run yours out like an animal, Jordan, on 2 pipes with 2 filters on them, I presume. Vent to engine bay, yeah. I'm not. That's the way I did it the last time. I had a filter on here and a filter on over there as well on that stupid wee PCV thing. So I can't slag too much. I think that'll do me. We've just reached an hour, 60 minutes on the dot. So that'll do me for this evening. Is it something that you would stops the bay rusting? Yeah, mine definitely did. Clutch is the second on my list of what's the V8 going to break first. Yeah, it's time you get one of them fancy automatic gearboxes in there, Stu. Same as next one. With a TH400 or something. That'll probably do me. Is it something that you want to come back and see at another stage? It's hard to understand what people want really these days. It's all well and good firing a full-length video up on YouTube a couple of weeks at a time, but it's good to actually get talking to you and get interacting. Clutch, aye. Trying to read to see if I haven't missed anything here yet. God, can't wait to see it done. Neither can I, mate. Trust me, neither can I. Lee, if you're still about, what do you do at Ford? You're a technician? I can keep the abuse coming in another video. I'm sure you can. I had private messages in between as well. Quite happy with how this is all set up to far. I had tried to do it in the GoPro. Wherever it's been jammed at. I tried to do it in the GoPro, but I just couldn't get it to reliably connect every time to the hotspot. So at least I'm using this. It's something built into the device. It hopefully can't lose connection to its own flipping device. Always more fun to watch live vids. I enjoyed doing it. I really did. I have to do the plumbing yet for the coolant lines. It's going to be fun. Might wait and do it when it's in the car. The feeds to the turbos I could do now, but the outlets to the radiators are maybe on the car. That's the oil line, obviously. These are the coolant lines. But I have to do the oil as well. Yeah, unsure how to do it nice and tidy. I don't want lines everywhere in the engine bay if I can help it at all. I might have to make up something to get these coolant lines away from the turbo as well, before the, what do you call it, goes on to it, before the rubber hose goes on. because I don't want them melting on me and leaving me stranded at the side of the road. So anyway, enough drivel. You've endured an hour of it. I'll go and hope you have a good week. My next video should be up in the next day or two, hopefully. The full how I did it video of the 3D printed spindle adapter from a throttle position sensor. And I'm going to try and do a few more of those as well, just behind the scenes stuff to show you how things are done, how the work's done. So anyway, until the next one, bye.